Hello, Fran,
Hello, Marie. Good morning. How are
and good
you?
evening to you.
Thank you. I'm
And
so,
I want to give a special mwah, mwah to Maui.
yes, we have a very special guest today, which is Maui, and he's raising the vibration. That's
As
why
always,
he's here.
he always gives me a feeling of love because I just love to look at his little face.
Yes, he's very cute. He's a very good boy. Oh, there he's showing you his face.
I mean, normally he's showing us his tongue, and I'm sure that we will see it before this video is done.
So I'm super excited about the next story because it's tying into the story from yesterday. So
Yes.
tell me.
Oh, okay. So where we left off was I was saying there are certain things that you said in your story, and they reminded me of things that I too related to, and it's a nice segue into my second story, which is actually, as I mentioned, a continuing saga of the treehouse.
Hmm.
Here's why it's also very interesting. Like you had mentioned, you had this beautiful place and it was for this limited time of 4 months. And then ironically, even when I moved into my house, it was a short-term lease of 6 months. And of
Hmm.
course, maybe naturally you would think like, oh, to have this beautiful place, but only for this short time. But in your case, and I will lead into in my case as well, you had learned within this amount of time that it was actually rather cold during a certain time of the year, and then it ends up 4 months is probably a really perfect amount length of
Yeah.
time, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, and interesting coincidence, I too thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe how cold this house is. And it's because, as you can see in the photos in the first one, it is always in the shade, always in the
Mm.
shade. So even on a very beautiful hot day, like there's nowhere on that property to like just sit and relax with the sun. Like I would find myself having the heater on, even if it was like extremely hot outside, because like I would have to go leave the house to go somewhere else to go warm up.
Get one. Hmm.
So I thought, oh, it's so interesting that to learn this about the house, but being positioned where it was, I noticed like right across the way, like what they call it, kitty corner. Um, there's this house that looks like no one lives in with this huge garden yard. And I thought, oh, on a beautiful day like this, I wish we could just like sneak into that yard and go enjoy and relax in the sun because I don't think anyone lives there. Well, and I say this while I'm freezing in my own beautiful treehouse that's not in the sun. So I would picture myself and my dogs like relaxing in that backyard. I would do that like every day, and I'd wonder like what is the story of this house? Like, and nobody else knew. They knew that the person who used to live there had passed away, but that's all anyone ever knew. Um, but I could see the house I work from home, so I see the house every day, and I just wonder, like, no one ever goes there. Like, I have no story about this house. There was a short period of time I actually saw it with a for sale sign, but still, like, I didn't see anyone going there. Like, it wasn't even like it had an open house or anything like that, so I couldn't even go in and see it. It was just so strange, and it didn't even wasn't even for sale for more than like a week. So that was strange. But then the day came where I actually saw someone, and luckily I was home and I was like checking out the house. Someone actually pulled into the driveway, and I thought, oh, this is my chance. I'm just curious. This is my chance to just go ask. And then when I went to go talk to that person, it turned out that um, he was now the official owner. He was the child of the person, his father used to live there, and when he passed away, basically he inherited the house.
Hmm.
They didn't know, him and his sister didn't really know what they wanted to do with it. They had such fond memories of the house because they used
Mm.
to go there in the summers when they were growing up, but they didn't know what they thought they would want to sell it, but they themselves actually changed their mind because the house had such sentimental value to them. So that's why, in that strange way, it was only for sale for a week, and they didn't even go through the trouble of having an open house or anything like that. So being that they said that they didn't know what they wanted to do with it, I just said, I mean, I live across the way. Like, would you care if I rented it? And since that wasn't even something they wanted to put an effort to, the fact that I just walked up and made their life easy, they called me the next day and said, yeah, sure. And then what was actually even more amazing was that they offered some rent that, like, I couldn't even believe that they would offer it for so cheap. I mean, I still don't understand. Like, they had recently redone it because of that open house, so they had new appliances and new floors, and like why they wanted to offer it so inexpensive. I was like, whatever, I'm not going to question that.
Yeah.
So of course, I just jumped on that. But what was also an interesting coincidence is because I did have this short lease on this house, all of that happened to take place a month before my lease was up. And so it, again, like, not like I even stressed out or was worried about needing to find a place with only a month to go. I actually did not even stress about that at all. I just kind of already was in my mental state of the universe saying, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm sure something's going to pop up. And it actually timed so nicely because I literally just moved in next door, and it was well within the 6-month term of that lease. But it was even better. I'm glad that I only had that short-term lease because, one, I wouldn't have been able to easily take advantage of this place that had the beautiful backyard for the sun, but that I would have realized how freezing cold that house was, that I don't think I could have actually handled it for another month or two. Like, it was honestly like that cold, like having the heater on all the time. But I'm still glad I loved that house and got to enjoy it. But now I was ready for my next chapter. And now I'm actually in that house now. Like, I'm still living in that very house that has the sunny backyard. All my 4 dogs moved in here with me, got to enjoy it. All of them enjoyed it until the day that they passed away. And many, many foster dogs have enjoyed it. Dogs who've come since. And now I've been here, like, I don't know, let me see, maybe almost 10 years now.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Amazing.
Which is why I had to, like, think about how I say this when I told you, let me just go run across the street and take a picture of the treehouse. And I didn't really
Yes.
want to give that away, but yes, I still look at the treehouse. It's
Yes.
so beautiful. The
Yes.
neighbors who are beautiful, but it is a wonderful thing to have that memory about. And that has actually brought me to Fairfax to begin with, the town, the magical town I live in. So, and I still live
Yes.
in this
And
magical
had you put conditions on the first house, on the tree house, like, no, it should be this way or that way or then you wouldn't have found, most likely, the house that you're living in now, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I didn't even
'Cause-
think about all those little things because at the time when I was living in the city, all I could think about was trees. And of course, as you can see, there's no
Loads.
house with more trees than that house. So again, like, and then now I shifted to sunlight, sunlight in a beautiful garden backyard. And that, I mean, the yard here is huge. So, and again, it's just one of those funny, like, the universe really does hear and give you what you want.
That's amazing. And the rent is still fairly low for this.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I am
Yeah. Yeah.
so blessed and thankful that they just, I have such a great relationship with the owners,
Hmm.
and I'm glad that I am, they love that I foster dogs, and that I have,
Aw,
that I always have wonderful dogs for them to meet whenever
when
they
they
few
come.
times that they ever come here. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that is so cool. Like, also for them, right? Because
Didn't
they
have to
didn't
put
have to do
any
it.
effort.
And you know what? It reminds me of the story of how I met my husband. Because I always say he got delivered to my door, like the universe delivered him to my door. And that's basically the universe delivered, like someone who rented a house to the house owner's door, right?
Yeah, that's right. You didn't have to do the looking. It just showed up on your door.
Yeah, exactly. So then maybe tomorrow I'm gonna tell you the story of how my husband got delivered to my doorstep.
Well, now I'm very intrigued. Yes, I would like to hear how that happened.
Because that ties it. I mean, I have also a house story that is similar to yours, like where we rented a place for a certain amount of time and then didn't, everyone told us, oh, you're not going to find an apartment, you're not going to find a place to live. And then we did, just like on the day. Like it was so amazing. But no, I think we had enough houses now. So we're
Yes.
gonna we're
Well,
gonna
we are
move.
already blessed to have, even two amazing house stories, so we're
Yes,
we're lucky with that.
yes, yes. So we're gonna move to the husband now. Yes, okay, I'm gonna tell you that story tomorrow because I have to think about all the little details of
That's
how it
very
happened.
exciting. I'm
Yes,
excited to hear how it all happened.
I know. You can be. It's a really cool story. Okay, so then have a nice
What happened with
Sunday.
Maui?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, I thought Maui was going to be part of something.
No, just his face.
Just the energy.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, as you know, I always get so happy when I see Maui's face.
Yes, that's why I thought he should be part of it, but he only wanted to be part of the first part. So that's fine.
That's always fine with me, even 10 seconds with Maui.
All right. Then I see you tomorrow
Okay.
for the next part of manifesting stories. This time, how I manifested my husband.
Okay.
All right.
I'll
I
see you
see you
for
tomorrow.
episode 3.
Yes.
Okay, friend. Bye.
Bye.